my extended stay on the planet, I've been involved in and seen Jeep events and competitions morph and progress throughout the years. Early Jeeping competitions, like U-Rock, first entered the scene in 1999 and were pioneers to the rock crawling events we see today. We Rock, Trail Hero, the SRRS, the rock bouncer guys, and King of the Hammers style Ultra 4 events, just to name a few, have grown over the years, right along with the sponsorships and purse sizes. A few of today's events will offer a stock or lightly modified class, but most cater to the big dog full comp rigs because let's face it, they're just fun to watch. The days of beating up your trail rig for fun and bragging rights were all but gone. Rock crawling had become a serious enterprise. But in 2008, when Craig Stump started the old school rock crawl event in Delta, Utah, his goal was to bring fun back to events that were becoming a business. He worked with the city and helped put together a second-to-none artificial rock crawling course right there on the city's fairgrounds. The idea with the event was to give Jeepers, including the less modified and well-funded, a chance to compete without all the drama, high costs, and pressure to win. The old-school rock crawl philosophy continues today with the Delta Classic Rock Crawl. Yeah, there's a little cash on the line, but more importantly, there are bragging rights and a chance for first-timers and budget builds to compete at the same event as some insanely nice rear steer buggies. Just not on the same course. Survival is still important here. The result is the Delta Classic Rock Crawl with its focus on fun, camaraderie, and the possibility for Dad to do some spotting. When a dad is spotting and letting you drive his car, the driver should be encouraged to listen. Remember, if you bust up his rig following his lead, you're off the hook. Here's how the event classes are set up. There's a stock class with maximum 37-inch tires, no frame cutting. The body has to be there and has to accommodate shocks. The radiator has to be in the same location as it was when it was stock. The Legends class. Now, Legends, you can have up to 42-inch tires, and 66% of the body panels need to be there. They still want it to look like a Jeep. Engine swaps are okay, and it needs to have a frame. No tube buggies in this class. Wheelbase changes are also limited. Now the trail buggies, they're front steer only and two-seaters and tubed out, and pretty much anything else goes. Super modifieds, rear steer is now allowed. 2 seats, but that's about it. Tire size, engine, whatever, you can do it all. But the unlimited class, it's oddly enough unlimited, and that really brings out some phenomenal rigs. Now, all of the classes listed have boring safety requirements in place to save lives and stuff, whatever. Then there's progression points earned for clearing gates. This isn't golf. We want a high score here. It's not a race. There's a time allotted to finish the course, but in the event of a tie, the quickest time does win. Scoring works like this. Okay, there's 20 points earned for passing through a gate, and the gate consists of 2 cones placed usually in a ridiculously hard place to miss them on the course. The gate passing ritual must be done without the cones touching any body parts or, heaven forbid, the contestant running over an expensive course cone. The rule may be confusing to the casual observer because sometimes you'd swear they're trying to hit the cones. But alas, contact will cost you a one-time 10 points of your 20 progression points for that gate. And you hit 4 cones, yeah, you're out. There are also 2 points lost for each backing, or even trying to back when you're stuck with no movement resulting. Staying between the cones and following the course is the key to winning. Body damage, parts breakage, and rollovers are all irrelevant. This is a competition. There's more to this clever scoring system, but it's the same one used in all the rock crawling events. You know, you break your junk, you don't show up on time for your designated start, yeah, it's a big 0. Luckily, the event provides bonus lines for an extra 20-point credit in case you get behind through the day, or you just want to totally dominate the course. Bonus lines may require aggressive life-saving driver measures when it all goes bad. They're extra credit for a reason. Nothing about the Delta Rock Crawl Classic is easy. The idea is to really see what your rig can do, and it is surprising to see what they will do. But if you break your junk, all is not lost. Once off the course, any competitor at the event will loan you tools, chase parts, or bring you water. Whatever it takes to get you back on the course. Yeah, this is the Delta Classic. We're all friends here.
Yeah, you're good. Just keep going through. You're good. There's like some undulations.
As the event progressed, it was interesting to watch the spotter and driver work together. Or ignore each other completely as they attempt to complete the course. Some of the Jeeps in the Legend and Stock classes are beautifully done in recent builds. Rigs with not much trail time, let alone competition abuse. While others appeared to be more like veterans to competition. Yeah, that's it. They looked like veterans to inadvertent body damage, and they exhibited a total disregard for sheet metal. When things get tense, the forward motion seems to slow to a crawl. But that doesn't mean taking a backup to reset and having a 2-point deduction is an option. Just continue with caution and be ready to gas it out. By the end of the first day, the vehicle attrition rate was pretty impressive. The field had narrowed despite a few fervent attempts to fix the broke and get back into the action. With only 30 minutes of accumulative repair time allowed to fix your junk per day, it made it pretty tough to stay in the game. But the event continued, and so did the carnage. Sometimes a slow crawl was the way to go, but sometimes a little pedal worked wonders. Nearly vertical lines made some of the courses challenging, to say the least.
I still gotta go straight so I don't hit it with my back tire.
But the real action was happening on some of the bonus lines, like when they decided to give the giant pipe a shot. This, boys and girls, is all about commitment. The tunnel was set up so that it was almost impossible to miss the well-placed cone guiding participants into a rollover. I thought it would be impossible to miss the cone, but you know what? The unlimited class buggies got it done. It's flat impressive to watch. The occasional rollover or flop was greeted with the very busy mega forklift. That beast was beyond handy to have around. Jeeps hanging from a couple of tow straps got to be almost commonplace. teeter-totter was a big hit for the crowd, and losing one or two off of it during the day demonstrated why. That's just plain scary. When the rock crawling portion of our program was done, the super modified lawnmowers were rolled out. It was time for a safe and well-organized riding mower race. Without classes, modification regulations, or any safety guidelines that I could determine, well, other than maybe the fact that they had to remove the mower blades, they lined up and went for it. The rednecks were unleashed, and it was glorious. There were a lot of NASCAR similarities as I watched the event. Light participant and vehicle contact were common. The competition was as fierce as a mother sloth protecting her young from an alligator attack. It was breathtaking. The mowers didn't seem to have a lot of suspension travel, and the course seemed to cause some problems in some areas. The whole thing looked like turn one at a motocross race. I'm not really sure how they determined the winner. Yeah, they all looked like winners to me. With the spectators warmed up, it was time for the mini bike races.
Some are thinking forward, some thinking backwards. The backwards guys have it. But some people think that forward would be a good option. All right, a little bit of confusion, and we're off to the races.
Sure, maybe you got beat on the rock crawl, but this was a chance for the pit bike to show what it was made of, and a chance for redemption without all those ridiculous rules and stuff. I'm very happy at this time to announce that no spectators or racers were killed during this race. We were clearly being watched over. Well, that pretty much wrapped up the Delta Classic Rock Crawl for 2022. There was an awards ceremony that happened somewhere, but I totally missed it. But congratulations to all the teams that survived and dominated. TeraFlex and its Falcon Shock division were honored to support as sponsors. Now, if you missed out, there's always next year. Dennis at TeraFlex.